their charges dropped. However, the DPP, who are scheduled to make a decision today, has requested additional time to review and carefully consider their applications. NPA spokesperson Phindi Mjonondwane says while the matter has experienced further delays, cases of this nature require time.
We have made a commitment as the NPA that we will be doing our best to ensure that this matter is speedily brought to finality.
Kotwa and McKay will return to court on the 1st of November for a ruling on their bid to have their charges withdrawn. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Joburg dropping to an overnight low of 16 degrees, peaking at 30. Pretoria 18 and 32. Vereeniging 16 and 32 as well. Lerato Hufela, Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
#MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High-dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Ladies and gentlemen, Makazole Mapimpi is here.
Makazole, the superstar, a legend, a rare breed. Rob, it takes special talent to lift a Webb Ellis Cup, not once, but twice.
You are with my favorite player, the Makazole Mapimpi. He's my favorite player.
Thank you very much. You're an inspiration to the young, you're an inspiration even to the old. Keep on pushing.
Because I know you love your football. And one of the greatest football players of his era, he's still playing right now. His name is Lionel Messi. You know him, right? You know him, right?
Yeah, I do.
Have you ever heard Lionel Messi speak English?
No.
Being the first black player to score a try says a lot. I stand to be corrected on that one, but it says a lot.
Yo, finally, you have the champion on studio. Uthi sikuthanda kabi, sikuthanda kakhulu. Yonke into enzayo siyayibonga.
Now, Forster, here's the race on. Pimpi's gone. He's gone. He's away with cancer in here.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
Another very, very busy show we are about to embark on. And remember, Marawa Sports Worldwide is proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
From the pitch to the podium, your all-access pass to the world of sport is right here. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
Yeah, I was trying to remember when last they were in studio, but there's a little bit of a change of guard, and I'm excited about that. Now the Proteas resume their preparations, though. Assembling for camp, I do believe, in Johannesburg. Photo shoots and all included. Netball South Africa announcing a formidable SPAR Proteas squad, though, for the upcoming SPAR Challenge International Test Series against the Malawi Queens that is set to take place in Johannesburg from the 31st of October to the 3rd of November. So it's just around the corner, guys, just counting down the days. And from the squad of 15 players, Jenny van Dyk, who's here with me in studio, would announce the SPAR Proteas team of 12 players at the pre-series media conference. I do believe it's next week, Tuesday, but Jenny will correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Or maybe she might just want to announce the squad today. Who knows? The perfect platform to do that, isn't it? Well, it's an exciting continental battle, though, that we're looking forward to. Coach is here to discuss the team, joined by another blossoming Protea flower. And recently appointed captain of the national team, Khanyisa Chawane, is here. Ladies, good to have you here. Jenny, welcome back. I got to welcome you back because you've been here before. Good to see
thank you. Thank you for having us.
How are you
Great
feeling?
to be back. Yes, excited to have our first test match in exactly a week's time.
Yeah.
It's, we've been waiting, and we're ready for the challenge.
You're going to be announcing it on Tuesday next week?
Yes. They first need to pass their fitness test, so no announcement tonight. Not quite yet.
I thought you were going to say, Tuesday is too far away. Let's just get down to it right now. And just that long wait, what's it been like? Has it given you more time now to assess, reassess, maybe bring players in that you might not have had a look at? What are the positives of the long wait?
We spent quite a lot of time watching our local players perform. The players that were playing overseas, they came back in September, and we had quite a lot of time. We spent quite a lot of time traveling between mostly Free State, the Western Cape, and Gauteng, Joburg and Pretoria to go to our players and to work with them remotely between me and Sanele. Been driving that little Renault Capture that I got all over the show. The first service is already needed, and we've just been working behind the scenes quite a lot. So this is only our second camp as we move into our first test series, but behind the scenes we've really been working hard.
Khanyisa, my captain, welcome to the show, and welcome for the very first time into the building.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You've settled into this now. I mean, I know that I've listened, I've watched, I've seen the news and other sports highlight shows with interviews of just how you've gotten on with the job as well. How would you describe your reign up until now?
It has really been a great journey.
Yeah.
I think I've received a lot of support from friends, from family, from just the netball community. So it's really been something that I've loved doing, even if we haven't really been together as a team, but as an individual, being in this position, it's really been great.
But you've been touted for this for quite a long time now, hey? It was almost like a leader in waiting.
I wish. Well, you could say that, but I wish. It's never a given.
Yeah.
Such things are never a given. You really have to work for it.
I mean, what's your take on leadership? What do you think molds a person to be a leader in a space that you are in?
I think the most important thing is really being someone who's able to listen, because there's a lot of people that are ahead of you.
Yeah.
And I think in the position that I've been in, I've had a lot of leaders that have led me, a lot of mentors, and it's really learning a lot from them and actually knowing what you can get in order for you to become one of those leaders or even greater. So I've just been privileged to be in a position where I've been led by great leaders.
But are you surprised when you saw Zanele Mdodana crying when the announcement was made that you'll be the successor to Bongi?
That was really special to me. It's someone that really believes in me. She's always thought I'll become a captain one day, and I think it was just a big moment for her when it actually happened. And yeah, it just meant a lot in that moment.
And I think a very special occasion, though, because, Jenny, I think you now get together as coach and captain for First International for the very first time. What are the pressures as you now start to think about Ellis Park Arena and what lies ahead?
Well, we've had quite a lot of discussions as a team exactly on the way forward, the dream of the team and the goals that we want to set out, the way we want to train, the way we want to play, and the way we want to present ourselves as a national team. To us, we want to push to become the best of the best in the world. And by all means, it's a difficult task. It's not something that's going to be easy. But if that's not the mission, then why bother? At the end of the day, that is. I mean, we've seen our cricket ladies do so well. We've obviously all inspired by our Springboks performances, and at the end of the day, why not us? Like I said, it's going to take a lot of heart and a lot of dedication and mostly a lot of discipline. But we're willing to work together as a group, and that's a good start.
I'm taking you back to just what you said literally a minute ago about the difficulty of being the world's best. And I think that is why we gather here to try and mold a team that will deliver a World Cup. And although we've been in the top 5 in the world, for the longest time, I think since readmission, I remember there was a game against Australia in 95 that we got to the final. Otherwise, it's been semis, it's, quarters and so on. Obviously, the failure in Cape Town to really reach our true potential. But what I'm trying to get at is that despite all of that, despite the non-professionalization of netball in the country, what is holding us back though, Jenny?
Yeah, I think we've got a long way, and I think our sponsors have really jumped aboard. And what I'm predicting is that women's sport is really going to be at the forefront for the next couple of years. So what we're lacking at the moment, I'm really hoping, and I can already see how people and sponsors are jumping on board to assist us. What we obviously need is a lot more time with our players and a lot more international experience and exposure to our players on a more continuous basis. And we've gotten that done. Prior to the World Cup, it's a little bit more challenging post World Cup, if I can be quite honest. It's a big thing to host, and then all of a sudden, you're back at square one, and you need to put everything in place again. But we know what we're up against, and we're going to give it our all.
Just to pick up on what Coach has said now, Casey, is that, I go back again to, what was it, 2019 in Liverpool, where you made your international debut at a major tournament like that, and you were just, 23 then as the youngest. You've also lamented, similarly to what Coach is talking about now, the lack of a facility. And my mind went back, ministers of sport come and go, and I remember Zizi Godwa saying that there should be an arena for netball. Now, if that were to happen, if the netball players in South Africa not playing overseas were to know that that is their job, what difference would that make?
I think it would really make a major difference, and I would go to what has been happening lately with our coaches really traveling and helping us train. That already makes such a difference, and it's them traveling. So now I can just imagine the team being together, not almost all the time, but almost all the time, learning each other and knowing everything almost about each other. It just always feels so new every time we go into the camp, and you don't really want to have that. You want to have not only the sisterhood, but also knowing that when I'm out there with my team, it's someone I know. It's not someone that I've seen 2 weeks or 2 months or 3 months ago, but it's someone that I've seen yesterday, and stepping on court, it's a no-brainer. But every time we get onto camp, there's just things we always just have to work on, things that could be worked on even before. So knowing that that is my job, knowing that I don't have to focus on anything else, I actually just do netball, I learn my teammates, I analyze and all of that, I just think it will make such a big difference.
But do you think we're closer to that now? A lot of promises have been made, but nothing happens.
Yeah, I'd like to hope, and I'd like to believe that we are closer. But I think the hope will come once we see the action of all of those promises coming to pass.
And would that be helped by the success on a global scale? Jen?
Yes, definitely. And also, we've taken quite a lot of note of how well Africa has been performing overall. We've got so many teams in Africa that's in the top 10 at the moment. And it's really valuable teams to play against and to train against. But to me also, just pushing for that professional league to really start. It's just such an important part of the development of the players to be in that type of structure all year around. And back in the day when I used to coach the Gauteng Jaguars, I was in a position where I could almost, it wasn't as professionalized with salaries, but I could train them as a full-time team. And that really made the difference and got us to 5 consecutive titles back in the day. So once we get to that step, we'll probably get more of our players to stay at home, to only focus on coaching, and it would also be so good for all our coaches to be able to coach on that level as well.
And I got to give credit to the likes of SPAR, who've stayed the cause. Had it not been for them, I think also from a domestic front, a Telkom as well, that have also stayed the cause and have been there. What in your wisdom, and I say this knowing that there are big corporates right now that are listening to the show that are saying, we've heard this before, how can we jump on board? What would it take? Are there numbers or there figures, Jen, that you can say from the top of your head that it would take X amount to professionalize at least a certain sector of netball in South Africa for us to realize that dream? Because, like you said, you've been in the Free State, you've been all over the place, the talent is there.
Yeah, well, look, I can't really put an amount to it, but I do know the budget that and the plan that I've worked out for our Protea team.
Yes.
And you know, there's been so many fantastic sponsors that jumped on board to host the World Cup, that gave us so much funding, and that really made it easy for our players to get enough time together as a group before the World Cup scene as we host it. Unfortunately, not all of that funding and all of those sponsors could continue afterwards, because obviously they have got an obligation to assist and help others as well. So for us, I mean, we still pushing, and I know our president, she's working around the clock to see where she can get more sponsorship and more funds for us, because the plan that we did lay out, that would really get us over the mark only for the Proteas in mind. I mean, we want to play the top 4 of each country, and the top 4 for us is England, Australia, New Zealand and Jamaica. We've got a set agreement with Jamaica now, and we'll travel to them in January, but we need to play 3 quality test matches against each of those countries every single year. And then we also want to play Africa, because it's an important part of giving back to Africa, but also not becoming complacent, because, I mean, let's face it, Uganda has given us our fair share of trouble in the Commonwealth and the World Cup in the past.
And that leads me to talking about something you hinted on earlier on, and that's just the rise of Africa within the world rankings. And I think 3 of the 10 are in the top 10 in the world, are from the African continent. And Malawi has always been about, number 5 and number 6 in the world. And now you get to play against them, and they've always been our nemesis when it comes to netball as well. How do you think we've done things differently to square up? Maybe to repeat what happened during COVID at Sun City and get a 3-0 whitewash?
I think the experience in the team speaks a lot for us. Many of our players going overseas, really getting the experience there. It's us coming back to South Africa and bringing in that experience. It's just going to give us that edge coming in. And it's always played at our advantage, getting that opportunity to go outside. But also the players that have stayed in South Africa, really watching the Telkom Netball League, how they've played, how they've showed up. A lot of players have stepped up. So as South African players, or as the SPAR Proteas with the squad that has been chosen, the players that are there have really put their foot down. And I really feel like us going out to play that series, we really have something to show.
All right, you can ask any questions, throw any comments as well. 060-708-0484, 060-708-0484, or otherwise call us directly in studio 011-883-947. And I know that a lot of parents excitedly, and I've been so excited. I've been seeing arenas jam-packed these days, netball being played. Are you visibly seeing a difference, especially after the World Cup down in Cape Town?
Yes, definitely. After the World Cup, I think everyone speaks netball. Everyone's so passionate about netball. If you see the comments, if you just share anything about netball, people just want to jump on and they want to comment and they want to share. And that's great. I think netball is one of the sports that really has put women in sport at the top, especially on television, on radio. And it's great to see that. It's great to see the big part that we play to put women in sport out there.
All right, the big question is, South Africa, are you going to be heading off to the Ellis Park Arena to watch our very own Proteas in action from the 31st? So we're going to come back as well. Coach and captain are in studio. Any questions or comments? Otherwise, we continue our conversation.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.
The countdown to your perfect summer holiday has begun. Save up to 30% with the Sunbreak Summer Sale at Southern Sun Hotels nationwide. Idyllic poolside relaxation, urban exploration, or quality family time. We have the perfect destination for you. Sale starts 29 October to 1 November, exclusive to frequent guest members. Not a member? We'll sign you up for free when you book. Your perfect summer awaits with Sunbreaks. Visit southernsun.com. T's and C's apply.
Take amazing pictures and enjoy the benefits of Galaxy AI with the new Samsung Galaxy S24 FE, brought to you by Cell C. Get it for only 799 Rand per month on a 36-month Elevate 2 contract. Go in store or call 084 145. Valid until 4 November. T's and C's apply. Nothing should stop you. Now on SA's best network. Switch to C. Cell C.
Win your share of 50,000 Rands worth of prizes with Lacuno and Absolute Pets. Lacuno is an affordable local pet food brand offering high-quality, protein-rich diets made with real ingredients. Purchase any Lacuno product, dry or wet food or treats before 17 November and stand to win awesome weekly prizes or the grand prize of a 30,000 Rand Woolworths shopping spree. Love local and shop Lacuno at Absolute Pets. Happy and healthy. T's and C's apply.
You're not just smart, you're book smart and street smart. So when it comes to managing your money, you get smart with your Standard Bank Prestige account, which gives you access to a team of bankers 24/7 and financial experts so you can make smart financial choices. And being able to say, let me call my financial advisor. Now that's smart value. Get it with Standard Bank Prestige Banking. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Allergex Non-Drowsy has been relieving South Africans one allergy at a time. We're all different and our allergies are too. This is why Allergex Non-Drowsy is available in both syrup and tablet form. All the sneezing, runny, itchy noses and throats, we've left no stone unturned. Our mission is simple, to help you live allergy-free with Allergex Non-Drowsy. Ask your pharmacist about the Allergex Non-Drowsy range, brought to you by Adcock Ingram, OTC. Sponsors of Brave.
So, when you pull up in a new Citroen C3 Aircross SUV Ekaya, abantu bazothini? Nieces will say, "That's my rich uncle's car." When they see your shiny 17-inch alloy wheels, even your uncle's bazothi, "I'll deal with the coat this year, my boy." After admiring your standard 10-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, abantu bazothi, "Mshana, yini le?" And then you'll say, "Citroen malume." Simply more. Now standard.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Ladies and gentlemen, Makazole Mapimpi is here.
I have a 3-year-old who loves this guy. Ubekelela iraphi just for umampimpi nokolisi. Ufuna uthelo, ithi hayithalo bot.
Short. Oh man, talk about snatching a person's heart. What are you doing to the kids, Mapimpi?
I don't even understand sometimes.
Okay, let's give you a moment. Sure.
It's a true love. Whatever that's going on, you just touch back where I'm coming from.
#MSW. #MSW.
It is the SPAR Challenge International Test Series against the Malawi Queens, set to take place in Johannesburg from the 31st of October to the 3rd of November 2024 at the Ellis Park Arena. I think it's also just a conversation about the revival of the inner city, that part of town. I think there was a stage and a time where, Ellis Park Arena was the hub. Ellis Park Stadium itself was the hub, and also the Joburg Stadium in between was also pretty much a hub. So can this particular tournament revive all of that? But most importantly, how will the ladies be able to fare on the court itself? You're an aspiring netball player. Please, this is also your conversation. You're a parent who would love their kids to be involved. Maybe you want to ask Jenny a question or two. Feel free to do that. Also celebrating a major milestone as well for the captain, Khanyisa, who is with us here. Madam Chawane, KC, as they call her, both captain and coach with me in studio. The main priority as far as hunting down the new talent and then just trying to mold now the older guard versus the new guard. How has that come along? And is that pretty much a challenge, or you've got a clear pattern of giving the new guard an opportunity now?
Well, look, let me tell you, I just discussed this with Casey on the way here, and I said to her, it's going to be difficult to choose the 12. We only have 15, and only 3 needs to be dropped in the 12, but that is going to be such a difficult thing because everybody has been working hard, and they've really been showing us exactly what we wanted to see. So we're quite confident at the moment. Definitely not an easy task, but, and this is going to be our only opportunity to be playing in front of a home crowd. So we hope that this series gives us the opportunity to give all all our players a run. It's never guaranteed. It depends on what Malawi brings. I mean, they have been in camp as well for the past month, and they will also be traveling this side with their squad. And at the end of the day, we'll only be playing in South Africa again next year. This time, we're going to Namibia next for the Africa Cup, and we're going to Jamaica, and then we're off to the UK, and then everybody will go back to their clubs and play their club structure systems and leagues. So yes, this is your one opportunity, and that's the one thing I always tell the parents. If you really want your kid to aspire to become one of the best, that internal motivation is one of the things that they really need. And if your kid has that internal motivation and they really want to become a top player, bring them to the matches, let them feel the vibe, let them feel what it's all about. It's great to watch it on SuperSport. It's a little and they've been so good to all of us.
Sure.
But it's just a different thing when they see it live. Afterwards, they can talk to the players and they can just get a good feel and look of how it really feels on that court. And it's just something special,
Let's go to East London. We've got Aseko on the line. Aseko, good evening. Hi, Aseko, are you there? All right, try Aseko again, and hopefully I will be able to get Aseko back on the line again. I wanted to ask Jen a question. I think about making sure that something or another happens. But Aseko, we'll get you back on again. Let's try it again. Aseko, are you there? There you are. Good evening.
Good evening to you, Rob. Good evening to Coach Jenny, and good evening to our captain, Khanyisa.
Welcome, Aseko. Go ahead.
Rob, my question is to Coach Jenny, especially to what she just touched on. How do we make sure that nobody gets left behind? We've got the contracted players, but there's still equally talented players that are knocking on the door that maybe have not made the squad this year, but are still just equally as good enough. So how do we manage that no one gets left behind, the transition, and we just, manage form, and we make sure that we build and we are competitive, not just for a season, but we are competitive over time and nobody gets left behind?
Question, and we've been thinking about that quite a lot, and as a first step of immediate action, we've been traveling remotely quite a lot, and we've been doing a lot of workshops with the coaches and online workshops with the coaches, straight from the national coaches' mouths, me and Zanele. And we've really, and what I've advocated at all of those clinics and courses is that we give them what we do with the Proteas at the moment. We give them those ideas. We tell them exactly what we're focusing on and what we're doing with our national players, because just imagine if this bunch of national players had insight to the information of what's actually happening within that camp on a very young age. And that's what we really want to start doing. We obviously also mentoring our coaches on TNL level and on SPAR champs. SPAR is so great with all the big with all the big championships that they're doing. So both me and Zanele, we're in constant communication with all our coaches to assist them as well. And then what we've also started doing, we've got a Junior World Cup coming up next year, and we've got the Fast Five around the corner, and we usually have a President's 12 team. Unfortunately, this time around it didn't work out for them to play, but it's like the SAA team. And during this remote training sessions and when we do our workshops, we bring in those players and we work with those players as well. So we have our S21 players coming in with the national players so that we have enough players to have quality sessions with them as well. And in that process, we're already building a little bit more depth within the pipeline, so that we can also have a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10, like the Springbok team,
Nice one. Aseko, any follow-up question?
Yes, I think, we've got a very good problem that, we produce good talent. It's very easy for everyone who says we don't have enough talent. What happens with too much talent, Coach, if you can answer me on there, when you've got two brilliant players who are playing very well, but unfortunately you have to select one.
That is a good problem to have, and when you really get to a stage where you have quality and everybody on court can bring that, that's when you're in the pound seats, when you play against other countries, because now you can pair up your players according to what you're up against, instead of just putting the best 7 on court. So that's a definite good problem to have. But at the end of the day, even if we look at our leagues, the Telkom Netball League has been substantial, and Telkom has done great with that for us. We have our Varsity Netball League that's also bringing through quite a lot of talent. When we get our professional leagues in a year or two's time, that's going to open up a whole new area for us. So at the end of the day, what I would want to see is that the same players don't play in each and every of those tournaments, so that we create more depth and we create more opportunities to play. Because at the end of the day, exactly like you say, game time. If you don't get it, you really start having quite a lot of problems. But yes, we're hoping to work towards not just being in a position where there's only 7 that can take the court. We want all 15 of our players equal in strength, and some of them don't have that many caps yet, but we need to trust them as well when the time's right and give them a go.
Seiko, any question to the captain?
Just to say good luck to the captain and the coach. I'm very happy with the answer coach has given us, and all the best on their first cap together as coach and captain, and fill up Ellis Park.
Yeah, absolutely. Aseko, thank you so much. All the way down in East London. Anything you want to add to that? Because I know that also as part of what you've spoken about, Captain, is a collective leadership. In terms of the unit. So you there with Carla as your vice, but you saying that almost every player needs to almost adopt a leadership style of some sort. Maybe explain that just to give us a sense of what you believe.
Yeah, I think it's very important, especially in a space that we're in. Once you get into the national team, you need to have some sense of leadership, so that no one is really responsible for you. You're responsible for yourself. So you take accountability, so that when we get there, we have a job to do and no one is watching over you and all of those things. And I think that's what we are lucky with the team that we have. Everyone also comes from a setup where they are leaders. You're looking at Varsity Netball, you're looking at Telkom. They're leading those type of teams. So once you get into a national setup, you are surrounded by leaders. And it's very important to be in a position where you're leading by example, because you are leading leaders. So it's I like that type of setup. I like the fact that we get there and we are goal driven and no one is lacking, if I put it like that.
But it's also important to create your own legacy. I think Jenny has spoken about it. I've followed some of her comments in the past. Individual legacies, because a lot of people will say, stepping into a Norma Plummer shoes, or you're stepping into a Bongi Msomi shoes and so on, big shoes to fill. But the thing is, as long as they're shoes, you got to walk your journey. Yes. You also got to create your own legacy. I think we've seen it, whether it is cricket or rugby, and people will always say, Francois was this and that, and then Nasia will take over, creates his own legacy and so on. What's your firm belief on taking over that and creating that legacy, building up towards yet another World Cup?
I think with this question, I always look back firstly to our former captain. She really did a great job with the foundation that she has really set in this team. Really creating an environment where everyone is comfortable, everyone feels supported. But I think for me, in that environment, it's also important to make it an environment where everyone thrives. It's nice to be supported. It's nice to be comfortable and really willing to play. But we need to thrive in that environment. We need to be able to do well. And I always say, like, people go have fun when you play netball. But fun only happens when you're good. When things don't go well and stuff, it's not fun anymore, So you want to go out there and you want to be good. And I think that's the type of leadership and legacy I want to look at is we are the SPAR Proteas, but we want to do well. Yeah. We don't just want to be a national team that is known in Africa or whatever. And as Coach has mentioned, we want to be the best. And that's something that's never been done. So leading such a legacy is wanting to do something that has never been done. And knowing that in the reign of Khanyisa Chawane, for example, as a captain, things that weren't done before have been done. Things that weren't done before have been achieved. And it's going to be tough. It's easy to just say. Yeah. But in the system that we are in, with the coaches that we have, they're really visionaries. It's not easy to achieve such things, but you have clarity to lead such a team. And yeah, I'm excited actually.
It sounds like it. I mean, it really does. And that's the sort of mentality and mindset you look for, Jenny, in terms of cultivating that, is that looking back only serves a purpose for once you've retired many years from now and you say, oh, things were like this and like that. But for now, there's a bigger picture of Australia 2027.
Yes.
And you guys want to be there. You want to make a mark. You want to get in at least into a semi-final, final berth. But the building blocks begin right now.
Yes, definitely. And before that, we go to Glasgow for the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, and we don't just want to do well there. We want to do well every time we hit the court and every country we play against. And for us, it's about really getting to know all the different countries. And remember, we've got some experienced players, but we also have very talented up and coming players that doesn't have that experience yet, and that we need to teach. This is how you play this country. This is how you play this country, and this is what it's all about, and they're buying in at the moment. It takes a lot of discipline. Like I said, obviously it's not going to be a smooth ride, but definitely one we're looking forward to.
And I know a lot of people I'm seeing on social media just saying that the access to the arena, I don't know if they gave you the details as well. Otherwise, I'll quickly look it up and give them the details. They want to know about the tickets. They want to come through and they want to come and support the team as well, which, for me sounds great. And why not? I know that there is a particular website. I don't know if you got that. Yeah.
We're playing on the 31st of October. That's Thursday night at 6 o'clock. The 2nd of November, that's the Saturday at 5 o'clock. And the 3rd of November, that's the Sunday. We'll be playing at 3 o'clock. We're playing at Ellis Park Arena. And if you type in shop.netball, and then a Python, is that what you call it, right?
Hyphen, yeah.
A hyphen sa.org.za. So netball-sa.org.za. Shop at netball SA.
Tickets can be purchased for all of those games.
Yes, 100 Rand per adult and 30 Rand for children.
Your expectations are what? Just in terms of the turnout, though, Captain. I know that Joburg has so many different things happening at the same time. And I always say there's counter-attractions to whatever you're trying to do. But do you feel and believe that there's enough vibe and expectation and interested spectators that will come through?
Yes, definitely. And this is because the national team hasn't played in a very long time. So this is going to be our first time playing even in this year. So I know people just want to come out, not only see us, but see us play. But also, being my first cap, being Coach Jenny's first cap, everyone would want to see what are these people up to. So I'm really expecting a lot of people to come out there and really watch us play.
Your expectations, Jen? I know that it's just around the corner. I don't envy you with the decision of having to, chop 3 heads down. I'm saying it very cruelly, but at the end of the day, that's exactly what it is. But what are your general expectations and what you can maybe promise South Africans as they listen through this?
Well, we know what work we have done. We have analysed and we know what we're up against. And we'll definitely be doing quite a lot of work in the next week to prepare ourselves for it. And we're planning to take that court, really giving our best on that court, and we're going for 3 wins. Obviously, we want to start strong. So then, like I said, that will always be the goal for us to win.
What is it about Malawi, though? Because they're not pushovers at all.
I think it's just the team dynamic, the determination. When they come out, they're quite loud, they support one another. And they do have a lot of experienced players in there, which they trust a lot. They rely a lot on their experienced players. So, and it's a team that never gives up. They play until the last whistle. So you cannot go there thinking that it's going to be a walkover. You cannot go there and think it's just another team. It's not another team. They've been a rivalry since they've ever started.
So you agree with Coach that it's going to be 3-0?
It's going to be 3-0. It will be tough, but it'll definitely be a 3-0.
All right. I think the house agrees. Yeah, the house agrees. Yes, everybody agrees. Jenny, Khanyisa, Captain Coach, thank you so much indeed. Good to see you. And good luck. Good luck for the series. And I hope it is 3-0. So, guys, please go out and support our Proteas netball team as they do South Africa proud once again at the Ellis Park Arena. Thank you so much for joining us. See you soon.
Thank you very much.
All right. See you soon, guys. Want to see trophies and medals and all of those good things.
#MSW. Live
now
on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. At the same time. #MSW.
You know the number one rule of casino? It's where you play that ups the stakes. Lulabet, well played. Here, it isn't a question of whether you'll be lucky today. It's a question of which game will reveal your luck. Will it be aviator, slots, or live games? Don't fold just yet. Small stakes, big take home. Lulabet. Nailed it. You know casino. You know bets.
No person at the age of 18 years permitted to gamble. Operate license by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. National Responsible Gambling Program. Toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008. WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Winners know where to stop.
At Hossa Grill, we're there for you when the stakes are high. Fillet on the bone when you want date night to be extra special. Bone marrow ribeye when you really want to celebrate. Blue cheese sirloin when you're treating a loved one. Or flambe tomahawk when you really want to go big. For a steak that's a cut above the rest, paired with service that's second to none, there's only one destination. The Hossa Grill, celebrating 60 years of excellence.
Redefine your style and performance with the new Huawei Watch GT5 series, the ultimate fashion-forward wearable. Built from ceramic and titanium, featuring pro-level sports capabilities, explore over 345 golf course maps, along with precise health and fitness tracking, and up to 2 weeks of battery life. Plus, it's compatible with both iOS and Android. Get yours now for just $149 over 36 months or for $499 at selected retailers. The Huawei Watch GT5 series. Fashion Edge.
Medical aid plans, they're normally like this.
So, you'll need to take this form and this. So don't forget this too. Okay, wait. Don't forget this one. Wait. Okay, done.
My back!
Sorry, sir. That's gonna have to come out of your savings.
At Bonitas, we make our plans simple, so they're easy to understand. We also offer a benefit booster and a range of other benefits that don't come off your savings. Visit bonitas.co.za when you need us. Bonitas, medical aid for South Africa. T's and C's apply.
It's time to own it in the all-new Toyota Starlet Cross. Own it with sleek LED headlights and bitone color options.
Own it.
Own it with a 360-degree panoramic view monitor and heads-up display.
Own it.
Own it with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and wireless charging.
What?
I said own it.
See what I did there?
I see. The all-new Toyota Starlet Cross.
Own it.
Fly Emirates from Cape Town to Dubai and beyond and start your holiday on board. Enjoy complimentary food and drink. Explore up to 6,500 channels of entertainment, including live sport. Stay connected with onboard Wi-Fi and keep boredom at bay with special meals and toys for kids. You get so much more in Emirates Economy. Book your next getaway at emirates.com. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Ladies and gentlemen, Makazola Mapimpi is here.
It's my first time in the studio there. And this way you as engineer. Yeah, but yeah, man, you're one of the people that I look up to. I think back in the days and watching soccer. Yes. I used to play soccer though.
What happened?
Yeah, man, I think I did gain weight and we didn't have like a soccer pick at school, and then I decided, you know what, let me just focus on rugby.
Bafana could have had a Makazola Mapimpi.
#MSW. #MSW.
Right, before we go live to Botswana, let's just quickly update you on what happened last night's UEFA Champions League, with Liverpool maintaining their perfect start to the Champions League following a hard-fought 1-0 win away to RB Leipzig last night. Now, Arne Slot start to life at Liverpool has now seen him winning 11 of 12 games on offer, with only blemish coming to date with a defeat at home to Nottingham Forest in the Premier League.
You spoke about not dominating against Chelsea. Was it more of the same tonight, and does that concern you?
You were not inside the stadium. You were, and you thought we didn't dominate.
No, and at the finish, no.
Oh yeah, but if you play big teams and you play a Group 1 team in an away game, there will always be moments in the game that the other team has some moments as well. And I think one of them was from a corner kick. But the way I looked at this game was that we had for a large part of the game total dominance, like in all the other games we played, except for the one against Chelsea. So I'm not worried at all about this game. I was a bit more worried, if you want to call it like this, after the Chelsea game. But this is how I like to see our team play. Much more chances than the other team, much more ball possession, much more time freeing up the midfield from build-up. So that was good. But I agree with you. Maybe you were only there for the first 10 and the last 20. We should be proud because so many great teams have worn this shirt. So many great managers have been at this club. So if you can achieve something that hasn't been achieved before, that's almost impossible at a big club like this. And to achieve it is always nice. But I said it also about the other records. It's records are nice, but there's something else that's more nice than records. And we both know what I mean, I think. And that's trophies.
Yeah, the man's looking for trophies, but Darwin Núñez, well, he struck in the first half with Leipzig forward Luis Opanga having 2 goals ruled out for offside in the build-up to this disallowed efforts. Now, on whether the nature of Darwin Núñez's goal was particularly pleasing, Slot had this to say.
But it's always good to see all of our players scoring goals, and I think it was the lead-up to the goal with Cody and Mo. They were just as important in the goal as Darwin was. What I liked from Darwin was that he was also strong, comfortable on the ball, kept the ball a lot, fighting if he had to defend. So he made it a really difficult game for the 2 centre-backs of Leipzig. And then for him scoring, I think that's always nice, especially for a striker to be on the score sheet.
Not so nice for Bayern Munich, though. Their manager Vincent Kompany said that his team, well, they paid the price for missed opportunities when they suffered a 4-1 loss at Barcelona in the Champions League last night. Well, it's second consecutive defeats now in the competition, and Kompany said that his side not being able to make the most of the chances that it created after Harry Kane's volley cancelled out Raphinha's opener, and instead, well, kind of left open the door for Barca to go ahead again, kill off the game with quick counter-attacks.
Barca is always a top team in Europe. I think it's no surprise, and they're the games that we want to win. They're the games that we want to show the best version of Bayern München in. And today, congratulations to Barcelona for the win, and for us, we have to learn from this game to continue in the Bundesliga to be the best team we can be, and then come back in the Champions League and get more wins. In the first half, I think all of us, and probably you guys would have felt it too, that it was a game where it felt like we could edge this game. It felt like this game could turn for us. But in key moments, we got outdone, and for that reason, the result is fairly heavy. We played against a good team, but we have the ambition to win these games, and today we have to learn from these games so that the next opportunities we have, we're stronger again.
Well, we just had to reflect on what's happening at Manchester City, though, with Pep Guardiola. Well, he says he's become accustomed to the eye-popping feats of goal-scoring machine Erling Haaland. The Man City manager marveled at yesterday's stupendous strike, playfully suggesting that Haaland is certainly not human.
I don't know. From my point of view, it's the only... I know maybe other players are concerned about that. I don't care 1 second about the Ballon d'Or, this kind of stuff. So the important is he's happy, he's smiling, and I know it's not easy for him because they defend in the box, no space, 3 central defenders with him, 2 holding midfielders close to him, even the wingers close to the holding midfielders. Literally, it's not a space, every cross, they are hugging him and push him, so it's not easy. But I just spoke with many times with him, be patient, be positive, because the ball is coming, the ball arrives. To score 2 goals, have 2 headers, really good to score more, 2 more. Because always Erling has this incredible capacity. Can touch 15 balls, 20 balls, but have 7, 8 chances. So it's unbelievable, this talent that this guy has. And of course, make a fantastic goal, quite similar to Dortmund years ago with an incredible pass from João Cancelo. I don't know which one is more difficult. For me, both. So yeah, really good.
All right, so a great result, meaning that Guardiola's men now move up to 3rd position on 7 points in the new 36-team Swiss-style league format after game week 3. Now, they have behind the fellow Premier League sides Aston Villa and Liverpool.
We scored 4 goals in Bratislava. Unfortunately, we could have scored much more, but 5 goals here against the team, it wasn't expected for me before the game. And yeah, we are there, still 5 games left, and the target is finishing the first 8, because it's a good advantage to don't play in February, one knockout stage, and focus in the Premier League. And yeah, the team, I like the team we're playing. We are alive with the problems we have with the many injuries, like many other teams, of course, but I rely a lot on all the players, and they prove me I'm right. Step that, but there's just one thing we cannot forget: don't be impatient. I know the players of the team will crosses and shoots and whatever, yeah, but it's there. There are 18 players there. There's no space behind, no staying between the lines, no, just here. And when you cross, you have Erling Haaland, but the rest, Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, it's like my son. So it's difficult. We don't have Peter Crouch, you know that? Otherwise, we would use him more.
Well, even the visiting manager, Lars Frizz, had high praise for Haaland, who took his tally to 44 Champions League goals in 42 games. Well, he climbed level with Didier Drogba in 16th spot on the all-time scoring list in European competition, although Drogba took 92 games to reach this particular mark. Now, this result means that Sparta Prague fall to 21st position in the new 36-team format.
I agree. And I think up until that, we got actually good hands on him. I think the boys in there, they cope with him very well, and I need to praise them for that. And then, what to say? I have praised him before the game, and he's the world-class player, maybe the best striker in the world, and he scored strange goals, he scored good goals, he scored with head, with foot, and now also this. So, world-class, just have to say. Difficult to cope, but he just showed what we all knew, and a night like tonight, where as I feel right now that we my boys had a good hand on him, as I said, then he pops up with a goal like this. That's just but we first of all we are never ever happy to lose 5-0. That's for sure. But when we take that away, of course, there's a lot of experience. First off. We play the best team with the best players in the world. Great setup, and it show there's a few steps for us to go yet to be where we dream about. But this is the absolutely top. We will meet them, that's for sure. So there's a good experience there.
We're looking at tonight, though, a couple of top games to look forward to. Europa League, Rangers playing against FCSB. Also, FC Porto on against Hoffenheim. Atletico Bilbao play against Slavia Prague. Fenerbahce, FC Fenerbahce take on Manchester United. And still talking about Fenerbahce, their head coach, Jose Mourinho, well, he's admitted, though, that he feared that his former club, Man United, will step on the pitch at the stadium tonight with maximum strength in the Europa League tie, and that his opposite number, Erik ten Hag, will not be tempted to field a second-string side in an attempt to rest some of the players for the upcoming and very important Premier League games.
I'm not the coach of Man United. I don't see any reason for Man United to be afraid of Fenerbahce, but I think they know not an easy game for them. If they think it's easy, if they come thinking that it's going to be easy, I think is the wrong approach. And unfortunately for us, I don't think that will be the approach. I think they know that the game can be difficult for them and that they will come with maximum strength. I don't think they are going to make rotations to save players for the next weekend match, if I'm not wrong, against West Ham. I think they will come full strength. That's what I would do.
Well, he was also at pains, though, not to criticize the under-fire United boss as he talked up the quality at Ten Hag's disposal. Well, he also said that it was pretty clear that there was a gap between the two sides, but he also believes that Tottenham and United stand a very good chance of winning the Europa League.
So I think they are in a stable situation, and if I have to say now which are the two biggest candidates to win Europa League, I think it's easy. Man United and Tottenham is easy. Premier League is a different level of quality, is a different level of intensity, is a different level of pace, is a different level of tactical culture, is a different level of everything. So I think tomorrow we are going to play against one of the two strongest teams.
But it was also at pains, though, to enhance the special one effect and whether he could rival Pep Guardiola's Manchester City as well as Jurgen Klopp back at Liverpool. Now, during his 2.5 years at Old Trafford, Mourinho did add to his trophy haul, though, by winning the League Cup. He also won that Europa League in his first season in charge. Now, in the second season, United finished second to Guardiola's rampant City, who then set a Premier League record with 100 points. And on United being better than the results they've achieved, Mourinho had this to say.
I know that only 3 or 4 players are from my time, not many. But I wish them the best. And I repeat, maybe you English guys, you think I'm bluffing, you think I am playing, how they used to call it, mind games or whatever. I'm not playing anything. They have a better team than the results are showing. Of course, I study them the maximum I could with my staff, with my analysts. We watch everything in the Premier League. We watch everything in the 2 matches, Twente and Porto. There is work there. And they will succeed sooner or later. They will succeed. Hopefully sooner, and hopefully before one day I go back to the Premier League and they become my opponents. In this moment, they are just my opponents for 1 match, not even 2, just 1 match. And of course, tomorrow, the feelings during the 90 minutes. There are no feelings.
Massive expectations, though, for United, and Erik ten Hag saying that he is confident that they can secure 3 points at the former United boss Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce, despite having as many as 10 players missing through injury or suspension.
Yes, and Mourinho and I, we won a lot of trophies in the last years, but you have to prove yourself every year, and when you don't win, we are always under criticism, and we know that we are experienced enough. Professional football is about winning games. When you don't win games, then the criticism is coming. But in the end of the day, we know also it's about how you are in the end of the year. And Mourinho is so experienced, he will lead his team to his best form and will be successful, and so we will be. We are convinced that we are in the right direction, that we follow the right path, and we will achieve what our targets are. Fenerbahce is a very good team with a lot of good players. We know some. Fred, long time at Manchester United, very experienced. We won with him the Carabao Cup. Soufiane Amrabat, we won with him the FA Cup, very experienced, also very good in World Cup. Dusan Tadic had a long history with him at Ajax, won also a lot of trophies with him. So they have so many experienced and good players, and they have an experienced coach. So, yeah, this is a very good place, very good team, and yeah, we will not underestimate them, but also not overestimate them. And we have to play our own game. As we said, we love to play in this environment. We're really looking forward, and we're always looking forward against good teams, because therefore we became professional footballer to go for these challenges.
All right, and we close it off with some of the comments that were made by the CAF president, Patrice Motsepe, who says that he is highlighted his ambitions, though, to restore the organization's former glory, implementing measures to establish solid governance, enhance transparency, also promoting rigorous auditing practices.
We had to immediately stop the hemorrhaging, stop the huge amount of financial problems and difficulties, and the financial position of CAF was in a very, very dire condition. But also we had to introduce governance and ethics and make sure that there's transparency and auditing practices that are world-class. Good progress has been made. I mean, we spent more than $50 million over the last year just on competition, and the number is more like 100 million if you take into account we had to pay $50 million to Lagadière for an old problem that we have inherited that took place many, many years ago. But money must go towards football development, and there's significant amounts that has been increased and that is finding its way to clubs. We've given every single one of the 78 clubs that plays in CAF competitions 50,000. It's small, but it's a significant change because it wasn't there before, and the intention, of course, is to increase it.
Increase it indeed. Great job done so far. Tune in again tomorrow for Marawa Sports Worldwide, brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
From the pitch to the podium, your all-access pass to the world of sport is right here. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. Hashtag MSW live now on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM and Sowetan Live.